Hey everybody, welcome to day one of Get Out of the Rat Race Rut. I'm Beth Campbell, career coach and mentor, author, podcaster, former corporate captive, and I'm now helping you navigate the 9 to 5. Thank you so much for being here. Happy September. I'm so happy that it is September today. If you have any questions or comments, please enter them. I don't know if Facebook's going to cooperate. I will try to look at them during the presentation, but if not, I'll look at them in the end. Sometimes I don't see them until after, so I'm not ignoring you if you're not getting a response. But thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited. Every day this month, I'm going to be bringing you topics related to career fulfillment to help you, and really life fulfillment too, if I'm being honest. And this is going to help you understand why you're stuck, how to get out of that quicksand, and what you can do to live the life you deserve. So there's going to be a lot of practical tips, a lot of advice, etc., and a little bit of woo, not kidding. So I'm sorry, I'm just looking, I'm getting a little note from Facebook, and we're just going to keep going on. So we're going to have some practical tips, we're going to have a little woo, and we're going to have a lot in between, right? Why the woo? Because mindset's going to be a big part of your career, really, in life satisfaction. So we're going to go there. So there's going to be a common theme running through a lot of these sessions, and that is this: you have the power to be happy in your career. In spite of everything that's coming at you, you have the power. You can take control. You can have a better work life, 100%. So thank you so much for being here. If you're watching live, let me know you're here in the comments. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. And of course, let me know if you have any questions or feedback, and I will address it hopefully at the end of this, but perhaps on a future episode. Facebook, I love Facebook. All right, so we're going to start off with an easy one today because it's Sunday morning. At least it's Sunday morning where I'm at. It's pretty early. And I want to wean everybody into some of the more intense topics that we're going to cover in the next few days. And a lot of you start your workday on Monday. So I think a great way to kick off the series and your work week is this: how are you showing up at work? Whatever your job is, whether you work from home or you're in an office, or maybe you're hybrid, whether you're an individual contributor, you're a middle manager, a CEO, or a president, how are you showing up? So what does that even mean? How am I showing up? Well, it's a lot of things. So how is your general attitude at work? Are you the complainer? Are you bitter and resentful? Or are you like the Taylor Swift of your job? Like you're super positive and full of sparkle? I love Taylor Swift. How do you treat the people that you interact with? Are you contrary or helpful? Are you snooty or sweet? Or do you just generally avoid interaction at all? How's your confidence at work? Do you boldly ask the stupid question and then bring your ideas to the table, even if you know they might get shot down? Or do you just avoid that because you don't want to be embarrassed? How do you show up physically, whether you're on a video call like you work from home or in person? Do you dress for success, or at least own your style and your appearance? Or do you keep your camera off all time, even if you are paying attention and you're not multitasking? You still keep the camera off anyway? And what is your outlook on your workday when you show up? Do you walk into it thinking, yeah, this is going to be a great week. I'm going to, do my best. It's going to rock. Or do you think this is going to be a shit show right from the get-go? By the way, I am going to swear. I'm going to try not to drop an F-bomb, but I'm going to swear. So anyway, you might not be showing up as your best self. And believe me, it's totally understandable. You're probably under a shitload of stress. You might not even be aware of it. Believe me, I get it. But that being said, how we show up says a lot about how we feel about ourselves and about our coworkers and about our jobs. And it does reflect on us as to how we are perceived by others. And how we show up can impact how we feel about ourselves, either positively or negatively. So I'm going to ask you, do you ever ask yourself, why do I do that? Why am I always so short with that person? Why didn't I ask the question? Why did I put on the Metallica t-shirt and baseball cap for that project meeting? Why didn't I help the intern when they asked me about processes? Why am I complaining with my peers day after day after day? Do you ever wonder if maybe you're part of what's holding you back because you show up to work every day, at best indifferent and at worst angry, frustrated, sad, hopeless, disappointed? So, at different times in my 23 years of corporate and consulting life, there were times when I showed up great and good, and then not so great, and sometimes bad, and then sometimes downright ugly. And almost always it was a reflection of how I felt about myself and how much stress I was going through. And it did not serve me at all. I would use negative sarcasm a lot to deal with difficult situations. And hey, look, I love sarcasm. I'm the queen of sarcasm. But when you use sarcasm, you have to be careful because it's very easy to slide into that negativity very easily. I would get resentful, like visibly, audibly resentful when people would ask me for help because I was overwhelmed myself. There were times when I did not speak out. I did not ask a question. I did not present a solution because I was feeling shitty about myself. I didn't believe in myself. Yes, even me. Speaking out is a part of my brand, but even I have been there. I was also, for many years, the queen of bitter complainer, 100%. I literally craved those moments. I could gather with my peers. We would sit around at break time, lunchtime, after a meeting, and we would just bitch about our shitty situation. Shitty situation, say that 3 times. Our shitty situation day after day after day. Like I said, I'm not kidding. I needed it. I wanted it. And I would show up on video calls. I've worked from home for about 8 years. I would show up on video calls in hoodies and a hat, or not even turn my camera on at all because I just didn't care. I did all of these things and more, and I was aware of it, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the person that I was, and I was contributing to my own unhappiness. So about a year ago, I got laid off from my job, and I decided I wasn't going back to corporate. It was a pretty difficult adjustment period, even though I was literally doing my dream job. Like I was podcasting, writing, working on a speech. I had my own schedule. I was my own boss. I didn't have to deal with all of the corporate bull crap. My stress level was nowhere near what it had been in corporate. But also now when you lose the stress, you create that space in your brain, like when you're not constantly having 4 meetings on top of one another. And so that when that space opens up, there's a lot of room for the inner voice, the fear, failure, discomfort, that inner critic comes in. I was back to eating a lot of junk food. I was wearing drab colors like gray, brown, black. I just wanted to kind of fade in, and I really didn't give a shit what I looked like. I still showed up. I was still doing my stuff because I had to. I needed to kind of keep the status quo. But inside I was tired and apathetic. And I would talk to my former colleagues and we would fall right back into the complaining over and over again. And even some of these people were people that reported to me. So I was supposed to be their leader, but I was like feeding their dissatisfaction again with my own blah energy. And that's not what a leader or a coach is supposed to do. I call myself a badass all the time, but that's not what a badass does. She's supposed to help people improve and get better and grow. And then 2 things happened around the same time that woke me up out of this kind of fog. One was I changed the way I was physically showing up, meaning I started caring about my appearance. And that really comes out of a course that I took from this awesome lady, Stella Scott. I've done a podcast about her course. I've done many promos on my social media. She's got a great mobile app called Cosmic Strategies. So go check it out on the App Store or Google Play. And you can access, I think she runs this course periodically. But it really taught me about my relationship with clothing, my style, and about color, and also some other things like how clothing impacts the environment. And that really kind of opened my eyes and changed my eyes about how I was physically showing up. The other thing was I started learning a lot more about mindset. I started, and just all of the self-image and some of the things that we're going to be talking about in this series. And I started showing up better mentally, emotionally, my attitude, etc. These 2 things have made a huge difference in my outlook, my energy, my opportunities, my creativity, my results, right? Just the stuff coming my way is crazy. So in the next few weeks, we're going to talk a lot about the things that will help you show up better at work and hopefully bring out your inner badass, because I know it's in there. But for now, I just want you to think about it. Like maybe tonight before you go to bed, Sunday, work week starts tomorrow. Just think about how to show up at work physically, emotionally, intellectually, attitude, and your confidence. Like how are you showing up right now? What's your baseline? And then I want you to think about one or two things that maybe you do a little differently tomorrow. Maybe you do go on camera if you normally don't, for those of you who are work from home. Or maybe if you do, you just wear like a nice blouse or shirt, not the ratty Disney t-shirt. Not that I've ever done that. Maybe you go, like you have a project call that's generally tense, like it's just whatever's going on in your project. But instead of going in there like it's going to be a shit show, you're going to go in there like you're everybody's best friend. You're not going to be contentious. You're going to channel your inner Taylor Swift. Like I said, I love Taylor Swift. She loves everybody. Taylor loves everybody. Everybody's her best friend. So, you're just going to be her. You're just going to try it. Or maybe there's somebody at work who just drives you batshit crazy every day, all day. And you just decide, it's fine. You're not going to react. You're not going to get sarcastic. You're not going to get frustrated. You're just going to be calm, thoughtful, and kind. Just find one way, whatever it is, whatever your baseline is, where you think maybe I'm not showing up at my best. What can you do a little bit better? Just do it for a few days. Do it for a week. It might be a little uncomfortable. It's probably going to be uncomfortable. Discomfort is the gateway to growth. So do it and grow and just see, did anything change? You feel any better about yourself? Did your inner badass come out just a little bit maybe? And then I want you to come back here when this live is up and you can put comments in and let me know how it goes. So see if it made a difference, even just a little bit. All right. Okay, I'm going to go over here and see if we have any comments. Corey Joe, Tay. Here's the thing about Taylor Swift. I know people just get very weirdly jealous of her. And you don't have to like her music. I'm not saying you do. Taylor Swift, I've heard so many celebrities talk about how like that she's just an angel because of how she treats their kids. Like she's like almost like a dog. Like every person that she meets is like, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. You're amazing. Watch her in concert in a video, and that's how she does it. It's just and that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying you have to be like over the top, but just go in there like she doesn't know or care or isn't thinking about if somebody's a dick, right? I mean, and she holds her own, right? I'm not saying that you have to accept when somebody's a dick, but yeah, exactly, Corey Joe. Her energy is so amazing. That's all I'm saying is just go into a meeting that's maybe normally. I know that you're out there. You've had these regular meetings because you've told me, a lot of you, and I've been in them where I just know it's like my stomach starts getting in knots because I have to go into this shitty meeting. And just go into it with a different attitude. Like, okay, today you're just going to be thoughtful. You're going to respond versus react, and just see if it goes better. That's it. Anyway, okay, so I don't see any other questions or comments. So Tamara, right, Corey Joe? Tamara, we're going to talk about goals. Yes, and don't leave yet. Don't cringe. Don't get the knot in your stomach. We're not going to talk about like those shitty company goals, the ones that get cascaded down from your executives and you don't really know what they mean. You all know what I'm talking about. If you've worked in corporate or consulting, you know that it's like, what is this goal and how does this apply to me? And how can I even make a difference in it? I'm not talking about those. We're not going to talk about those. We're going to talk about your career goals. Like, what do you want to be? What do you want to do? Have you ever really sat down and thought about it? Okay, so we're going to talk about that tomorrow. All right, don't forget to connect with me here on Facebook or on LinkedIn. If you'd like some one-on-one coaching, it's bethannecampbell.com/coachme, and let's set up a quick discovery call. Thank you for joining Get Out of the Rat Race Rut. You are here because you are a badass. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. See you tomorrow.